You are listening to Maximum Pew Pew, an actual play RPG podcast. Maximum Pew Pew follows continuous storylines and are meant to be enjoyed from the beginning. This episode follows the Jewel of the South storyline and may contain spoilers for Our Friends the Machines and Other Mysteries published by Modiphius Entertainment. Gameplay segments may contain mature themes and adult language. In this episode, the kids plan a summer movie night at their hideout.
J104.5, Greg White in the morning, and a happy Tuesday to everyone in the two Virginias. Today's news story: violent movies under fire in Washington due to what some children advocacy groups are calling an unmitigated increase in violent and sexual content. Janet Thompson, president of the Mercer County Parent-Teacher Association, had this to say.
There's no reason this content needs to exist. Children are so impressionable, so pliable, and we allow them to be subjugated to the worst of humanity. Is it not our responsibility as parents to ensure their protection from such evils?
Thompson and members of the PTA are planning a series of peaceful demonstrations throughout Princeton to remind parents that movie ratings and warning labels are no substitute for active parenting. Coming up, Steve Winwood's newest, Higher Love, your station for today's hits and yesterday's favorites, J104.5.
You all are citizens of Princeton, West Virginia, circa 1986.
Oh, nice. That's exactly what I need to be.
Cool. So you may have some ideas for your characters. Are there any questions I can answer about Princeton or this area that might help you flesh out stuff with your characters?
Luckily, I've lived in West Virginia all my life.
Yeah. So
that helps me a big deal.
Princeton, West.
You call that a lot?
Yeah.
So Princeton, West Virginia, it's the county seat of Mercer County. There is a courthouse. Also, it's going to be your first experience with a roundabout. I don't know how many of those are in West Virginia, but the courthouse has a roundabout.
I've been to the Princeton one, actually, specifically.
Yeah. So there is... everyone here probably goes to Princeton Junior High School, Princeton Tigers. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the Tigers? Okay. I'll
Yeah.
the Panthers here.
You're a Tiger.
So no, Pikeview is the Panthers. Don't mention the Panthers around here.
I was the Panthers here, and because there's a Panther everywhere. Every district.
Everyone's got a Panther, a Tiger. I guarantee not everyone has a beaver like Bluefield does.
Stonewall has.
You know what?
Has
It's
a dragon,
still a better sports
Stonewall's a
mascot
dragon.
than the
That's
polka
insane.
dots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stonewall's is a dragon.
Polka dots is pretty bad. So everyone here is going to Princeton Junior High School. There are a large number of elementary schools that may or may not be relevant, but those are usually dictated based off geography, where you live. When you get out of junior high, you are going to go to Princeton Senior High School. Princeton Senior High School was finished in 1981. It was previously where the junior high is now. So you guys are some of the first students to be in the old high school as junior high students, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, because DuPont did the same thing. They moved to high school.
And there was a little bit of consolidation that happened too. So the old junior high is now Straley Elementary, and Princeton High School will usually take students from both Princeton Junior High School as well as Glenwood School. And Glenwood is like a K through 9. So it's maybe like a 2/3, 1/3 mix. Like when you go to the high school, you're going to know 2/3 of the people there if you went to Princeton Junior. The other third probably came from Glenwood or someplace else. But that's a couple years down the line for you guys. You guys are currently at Princeton Junior High School, home of the Tigers. So the first thing we'll do is we will play out an everyday life scene with everyone to kind of do our character introductions. And I guess I should probably introduce the mystery too. So you all are planning to have a summer get-together maybe it's a sleepover, maybe it's just like a day thing, but it's something you guys have planned this summer because, it's boring. You've been a few weeks out of school and it's miserable, it's hot, you guys want something to do. And the main plan is to try to pick up a movie from the movie store, which we will call, movie gallery. Down on Stafford Drive.
I was going to call it Video Village.
I was going to say like Cube Breaker.
Well, we didn't have there wasn't a Blockbuster yet.
I know.
So Movie Gallery eventually became Blockbuster, and then Blockbuster went the way of the dinosaur. But, let's not...
Video Village is just the generic name for...
There's one left that they're keeping open like a museum.
I know. So...
it's the generic Blockbuster that's like in the back of a gas station or something.
Yeah.
That would be a video.
So we're not quite a Blockbuster, but there's Movie Gallery in Princeton, fairly close, and that's probably like the place to get any type of movie rentals. Once we do introductions, we can talk about like the Hideout and stuff like that too, and maybe relationships with everyone. So who would like to play out their everyday life scene? Who would like to introduce themselves?
Perfect.
All right. All right. So Junior, since he's been played once before, has a little bit going on. So at this point, we'll say it's early in the day, and I'm like up doing tending animals, like feeding Dad's coon dogs.
Okay.
Which are large, noisy, not socialized at all, chained up outside by
louder than hell.
Oh yeah. The whole point of these dogs is so that you can hear them out in the woods after they've caught something, and or they give about 15 minutes notice on somebody pulling in the driveway.
It's like someone dropped like a car tire touches gravel. They just start.
These are large hounds. These are hunting dogs. You're not allowed to pet them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not fighting dogs. They're hunting dogs.
Yeah.
Sorry, pulling this from my grandfather. But I'm out there, trying to feed him, which was really just an excuse to get me out of the house because Dad and Mom are probably yelling at each other over something. And honestly, at this point, it's the summer, and parents are cranky. It's hot. We can't afford air conditioning.
Okay.
So realistically, I'm going to do as little work as possible to keep from getting yelled at when I do eventually get home. I'm going to siphon some gas out of Dad's car.
This is recurring theme. Like, this is just like I love it. Okay.
And I put some of it in my dirt bike, and I don't care where I'm going, but I'm going to, while the dogs are making all this noise, I'm going to push my dirt bike to the end of the driveway, and then off to town.
Okay.
just avoiding all of that entirely.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's Junior. In your class, your type is the Hick, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And Hick is weird in the game because I guess Hick in Europe means something different than it does here.
It's like the game, art is more like a mechanic.
Yeah,
it's like less redneck and more like
handyman.
Well, no, it's like a glorified kid on the farm who works on the tractors and does all the mechanical stuff to keep the farm running.
And I think maybe
that's entirely different.
I mean, redneck would have probably had a very different meaning in like the 60s and 70s versus what it does
like
today.
The picture, he's got like a hose and goggles. I'm like, no. My Hick is a West Virginia Hick.
I was gonna say, I guess to be fair,
he tinkers, he repairs vehicles because he has to.
No, versus here, it's like, Hick would be, I'm bored, what tattoo should I get?
Right.
I was like, I guess what they consider a Hick would be what you would call a West Virginia resident, and then what we consider a Hick.
And so the echelons are way different in Sweden versus West Virginia.
Yeah, they don't get it. Everyone I've ever known has owned a horse.
This isn't unusual. What's
yeah, it's like, yeah, I had a horse once. That makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, sure.
And like if you didn't, a close family member did.
Yeah,
Right.
so someone somewhere's got a horse. Okay, who would like to introduce their character next?
I can.
Okay.
My character's Newton Domergue. I'm a weirdo. But a typical day for me is I'm from out of town. I just moved here. The last place we lived was in Boston because my dad was affiliated with MIT.
Okay.
Down to the Loop.
Okay.
And basically, my parents really don't pay any attention to me at all.
Okay.
Basically, I just play Atari or whatever most days
Okay.
to pass the time because I don't really know many people
Gotcha.
and I'm weird.
So,
In my head, he moved into the house that the person who left in the last adventure.
oh God, just this rotation of well, you were already there. You were already established. Like you met Alvin
Right, yeah.
in this.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah. So you've done the original adventure that I kind of run. This is a bit different. So yeah, you're currently at home. You know that your group of friends is planning on having like a movie day or night or something like that. Maybe that's something we can kind of collaboratively discuss later. But you're getting out of town. So Junior's just on the bike, went down the road, and is just
Yeah, first person I see, I'm going to stop and harass.
okay, just to do something.
Yeah.
Newton's kind of sitting around playing Atari, just sort of bored right now. So who would like to play out a scene?
I'll go next.
Okay.
My character is Samantha Hawley. You can just call her Sam. Her father served in Vietnam. After getting back, he was very disappointed. He and his wife were very disappointed that she was born a girl. So every morning it's 5 a.m. on the dot. You're out the door making your run, doing your push-ups, doing your sit-ups. If you even glance at a dollhouse, you're getting beat.
It's very rough. In other words, like
Yeah.
you're having to go through basic like with that.
It's like every morning it's basic training.
Oh God.
But after that's all done, I'm basically free to do what I please. Wander around town with my bats over my shoulder, meet up with my friends,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. We'll talk about houses and stuff like that. And I know that, Junior, we kind of talked about your house, too, a little bit. It's sort of out in the woods, but still fairly close to civilization, which is very easy to do in
Well, right.
Princeton, just because there's this
Thank you.
dichotomy. Yeah, I mean, there's like...
Most cities in West Virginia fill a valley. And then when you spill over top of the ridge of that valley, it's woods.
That's when you get into the sticks.
Yeah. And, there's just this dichotomy, like we were talking about earlier, of, like, the nice housing developments being directly across the street from the trailer parks.
Well, the people with the money from, like, coal mines or whatever don't notice all the trashy houses, so they will build, $200,000 houses next to a shack.
Yeah. So, there is that going on. So, after you do your PT
Yeah, right.
for the day, Sam kind of wanders out in the neighborhood or whatever, and we'll kind of talk about where you live and stuff too. How do you imagine, like, what type of house do you imagine?
Just standard, like, urban housing.
Okay, it's just like a
suburban
rancher kind of
three
type
bedroom,
deal.
1 to 2 bath kind of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see your parents wanting to live, like, in the city, or kind of like
they're
out a
kind
little
of
bit?
in the city, like the suburbs. Yeah.
Okay, kind of in the city there. Okay, so I have a pretty good idea of where they live. Okay, and last,
So
hold on to your pants, everybody.
So Tim usually doesn't sleep every night. Usually those long nights watching his Japanimation, his anime. Decided to actually sleep this night though because he was going to meet up with his friends who didn't want to be tired. When he does manage to go to sleep and sleep through the whole night, he gets up kind of early, gets dressed for his day, got his long black duster. It's hot outside, though, so he'll be wearing shorts instead of pants. To go with his t-shirt that has, like, some crazy symbols from another country. He has lots of weird knickknacks from places all around his room because his dad travels all the time and brings them back to basically buy him not hating him. If his mother is conscious at this hour, she's for sure making herself a chaser to round off the night.
I don't know. It depends on how much she drank the night before.
Yes.
I mean, this is kind of like a generic weekday, so I'm not sure.
She either wakes up drunk, or becomes so very quickly after being awake.
Okay.
Or the dog.
Yeah.
All right.
And if I'm not going to stay in my room all day, which is in the basement of the house, they allow me to stay there separate from everyone because I make too much noise through the night. I gear up, get my wooden boken, and just head out to the streets to
Inflict yourself upon.
Wooden boken. You were that kid.
Did you not see my name?
Oh.
The other one that I'll give out to you guys later.
So, Tim, what type of house do you kind of imagine yourself in?
This one would be a 2-story with a basement.
Okay.
So the first floor has the kitchen, the dining room, a living room, and 1 bedroom. Two more bedrooms with 2 extra rooms and a bathroom upstairs, and then a basement.
Gotcha. Okay.
A nice house.
Like what? Yes, it does seem pretty nice. So, parents make good money?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how Mom is a stay-at-home mom. Dad makes good money, and that's why he's gone all the time. Got to get those extra bonuses.
So probably like in the Quell Valley area or somewhere, it's like really nice sort of housing development, and we can add these to the map later once we sort of flesh out who wants to be where. So, so you guys need to tell me about like your hideout. Like, when you guys go to hang out? Like, do you have a place in Princeton, somebody's basement, or a clubhouse, or a room at the library? Anything that you guys sort of like to use as your get-together spot?
I'd like to think that it would be someplace like maybe. I mean, I guess it could be kind of in town, but it'd probably be kind of secluded, maybe in some trees or around a park or something.
Like an old construction zone or an abandoned house.
Or maybe like an old mine building.
Yeah,
or like not like a mine shaft, but like the type of like an old building, like an old metal building that might have been used for storing something and was left.
Yeah, they closed down that particular mine or whatever.
But someplace where someplace where not necessarily teenagers are going to find out about it, because then it would be a makeout spot, and that's gross.
Yeah.
But
definitely a place where we're only found when we want to be found there. Like,
right.
We go there, there's no like, well, we could definitely find them by following this. Nope. We disappear and we're gone.
So let's say, keep hearing noises.
That's the sound of no children.
Well, I thought I heard like cats fighting or something, but I fed them. But who knows? I don't know. The sound of no children is weird.
What about like a magazine in mine? Or they used to keep it explosive.
Well, one thing I was thinking, Princeton wasn't really much of a mining town, but it was a stop on the railways. So once mining kind of stopped in that area, the trains didn't come through as frequently, and therefore, like, the train station that's kind of at the end of Mercer Street stopped being used and was sort of fell into disrepair and stuff. So nobody goes down there, so that might be a good place.
And they probably would have left at least one train car before trying, because this would have been before they tried to strip it all for steel and stuff.
Oh,
So
I mean,
they might have had a car.
to this day, it's not stripped down. And actually, to this day, they reopened that building as sort of like a heritage museum site.
Oh, so it's pretty much untouched.
What about
So
like
absolutely,
the
we hang out.
dilapidated caboose that was left there?
I mean,
Caboose would make pretty cool.
the building itself is probably
Caboose has
in
the
good
little,
shape.
the little extra
Thing at the
windows
top.
up in the top you
Okay.
can use for a lookout.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we'll
stuff like that.
we'll say that there's a bunch of train cars now. Probably a quarter mile from like the actual train stop is near Key Street. There's like a quarry, like where they've done some cement and stuff like that. So it's possible that it still gets a little bit of traffic, but we'll say that there's like a couple box cars and a caboose that are just not there. Basically, most people are going to be interested in graffitiing the outside.
Right.
But it's actually really close to Thorne Elementary, which some of you may have actually went to before you went to the junior high. So you've been pretty familiar with that area anyway. So yeah, we can say that you guys have just some train cars and a caboose. And it's not unusual to see kids around there because there is a school with a playground. Even in the summer, it wouldn't be too unusual as long as you keep a low profile.
Because
So-
we're wary of other kids, we jam the doors and then like pull up like a ladder essentially and just like use a long stick to knock down the ladder to get in.
Oh, yeah,
so that
yeah.
other kids
I mean,
won't think to like they'll like
my-
chung, all the doors locked. I don't want to mess with this, and they just leave.
No, my dad bought all kinds of locks and hinges and crap. He doesn't. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
bring some down and hook
between
it up.
all of you, like this place is pretty secure and makes for a pretty decent area. Plus, it's right near Mercer Street, so if you guys wanted to get into any mischief, Mercer Street is sort of the happening place. So
You can also have a quick escape from mischief.
let's see here. Mercer Street is that's Thorne, so this would be Mercer
what
right
the
here.
Best part about our hideout
And
is
you're going to be like around this area.
that
where
the word caboose also means ass.
Yeah.
it does. Slang is important.
Are we on recording? Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording. We should be.
just
Let
wondered.
me check because now I'm paranoid.
Like,
Audio check.
Yes.
We've been doing a great job of not talking over each other. It would be a shame to have wasted that. Like unusually good.
So let's talk about this caboose. It's probably a good size. So like, how long are we talking about for like a caboose or boxcar or something? Like,
Well, we live in the future, so we could Google it.
that's
I'll
I'd
take care
say
of
it's
it.
from probably this wall to that wall.
Yeah, I was gonna say what like,
oh yeah, that's a fair.
Probably not that wide.
like 30 feet or something.
I
like
think
that?
they're about 25, 30 feet long.
Yeah, and then
Probably
like
the width of this wall.
yeah.
It's about 10, 15 feet. I mean, they have actual dimensions. They're basically, my grandfather was a conductor for C&O. They're basically a camper on wheels that you can work out of the back of.
And then that's easy to fill stuff with too because of like their size and stuff.
Yeah,
then
but they're bigger than you expect.
And they're pretty tall too because I
Yeah.
know.
Well, they got that center thing.
Yeah, and also when you come up to like just a regular train track, like it's treads
Yeah,
that come up to
something
you
like
to
that.
your chest, so you have to hop on.
Looks to be, we'll say about 32 feet long.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I used to live across train tracks and they drive across all the time. We'd crush like quarters and stuff underneath them, obviously.
Yeah, it's
you
about
just admitted to
30,
a crime.
35 feet for a modern
Of course,
caboose.
that's including probably 5 feet on each end
got
for
the
that little
ends.
yeah,
bridge they have.
right. So yeah, we'll say like 30, 35, and then like
20
10,
inside.
well, like 10 feet wide or something like that. So I mean, it's
That's fine.
Yeah.
so, I mean,
Well,
it's probably
it's a sizable
smaller
little-
than like this common area here. But I mean, you guys got some good space, and sometimes you'll have quite a few people in here.
Well,
But
yeah.
today it's the four of you because it's summer and people are on vacation and out of town, whatever. Today it's the four of you. So tell me how you have this caboose appointed. Like what makes it so special, other than the privacy?
That's going to be a lot of it. But I mean, it would come with like probably old beds and whatnot. Probably,
Yeah.
Probably like vinyl covered Not that we'd really pay much attention to cleaning them or anything.
At some point, I would have gotten the idea to either go to the junkyard or a place where we could get seats, like out of cars, or like something like that to bring in.
I dare say that I could have helped acquire some of those.
That'd be like some chairs.
And I remembered my anchor. It was my uncle, who was also a veteran, who runs a military surplus.
Here's a caboose interior.
Yeah,
So-
see, that's posh. I wish that's better than my first 2 houses.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I mean, what?
So they're pretty nice.
Can I move in right
It's meant
now,
for
or-
somebody to live back there and travel.
Yeah.
So, so that's
That's it.
So we probably, there's no furniture in it. So
yeah.
we
There's
probably-
like benches and stuff.
We probably went and grabbed some like those big wire spools that people would use for furniture, like for a table, and some milk crates to sit on, and
roll that over. But also, like,
something for cushioning.
yeah, some.
I mean, the thing is, if your uncle was doing like military surplus, like I feel like bed rolls that type of deal would be very easy to kind of come across.
A couple sleeping bags for camping.
Yeah.
that just ended up here and whatnot.
I mean, you guys have done some camping here. I mean, it's
Yeah.
quiet, and you guys you just tell I'm at this kid's house. I'm at this kid's house, and you just
So that means we'd probably have some lanterns and some flashlights.
I mean, as far as like external power,
No.
that might be a little bit difficult, but like internal power, like you've got little gas lanterns, your Colemans.
Those little square 6-volt batteries from the lantern.
So you've got a few things here. So like if it gets dark in here pretty quick. So I mean, you've come up with ways to kind of get this place.
Dad goes to Europe a lot, so I told him that I needed one of those like bike generators, like you put on your bike wheel so you can pedal to power your light. Stick
God.
one of those in there.
That's a lot of work.
It is, but it'll work when a pinch.
But if you need to, so you all are at the usual space, and the 4 of you have showed up. You know that the rest of your friends are on vacation or whatnot, so it's going to be the 4 of you all. And you all get the bright idea to watch a movie. Not just any movie, though. Screw it. Let's get an R-rated movie.
No doubt.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be one of the only kinds of movies that these 4 people would ever agree upon.
So, let's get an R-rated movie. Now, poses a challenge because your 4 kids between the ages of 10 and 15, R-rated movies a little bit difficult. But you potentially have an in. So you see, let's see.
We got Jimmy the gas station attendant.
Well, you got, okay.
17.
So you've got...
I can get us some bootleg anime. I could try to see if he could pull something out for an R-rated movie, but I don't know the quality.
So...
Is it in English?
No.
We'll have to find out.
all right.
See what he can get first.
So, Tim, there is someone that you think you may have an in. Okay. There's this girl by the name of Ellen Woods. Mm-hmm. She is actually one of the managers at a movie gallery. And your interest in movies is a little bit different, but she's been able to find the really mainstream stuff. She's got some contacts that she's been able to get a few things. She's not a primary dealer for you, but she, you feel like you've got a decent rapport with her, and that might be an in, the actual manager there. Alternatively, if you've got other contacts you can kind of work on to see who can get you some type of movie, but that would be something you could do. Now, the other question is where are you going to watch an R-rated movie? The boxcar is going to be a little difficult unless you've got some type of, unless you can rig something up.
Pedaling to power this TV for 2 hours is probably not a great idea.
I mean, I probably have the stamina to, but I probably wouldn't want to.
Maybe we can rig a car battery up to this thing. That's
Well, I mean, battery powered TV. Who's got one of those? A battery-powered VCR? Nobody has those.
We'd have to actually like wire it hard.
Are we close enough to anything that we could run?
I mean, if anyone's got Tinker or Calculate, they might be able to
come
up with a solution.
Hang on. How close are we to... How
like a building can run like a real long orange
yeah, like get like 3 or 4 of those big extension cords.
100-foot long ones and just
so we'll say that these boxcars are probably really close to like the quarry, which is still like a business, and that there's like a shed with an office where people work, and you might be able to get your power there.
Okay, we climb the fence and we run the wire through it. And these businesses always have outside plugs.
Because that's part close to their meters and such. We can go in there and...
So we need a bunch of extension cords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll need quite a few. Thankfully, there is, a Lowe's nearby, or there's other places. Depending on how nefarious you want to be with trying to acquire some extension cords. But
I could.
Well, we'll say you're within about 100 yards of this business, so 300 feet, like 6 long extension cords,
right? Or
like 1 or 2 of like the contractor versions, like something like that.
Yeah. Like the ones they use for the electric things.
My dad actually has one.
And it's entirely possible that this place of business may have some. Who knows?
Well, let's go look.
Okay.
So why aren't we doing it?
All right. So it is a weekday.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys got here kind of like in the noon-ish. So, it will require some type of action, clandestine or otherwise, to sort of...
I stand out a bit, but I still might be able to mingle my way through here. What kind of business do they do here again?
So it's a rock quarry. So you're going to have people that are sort of like inside. They've got like window unit ACs, so they're probably not going to come outside unless they are doing any business. And it looks like you don't see any like cement trucks or anything like that. So, it wouldn't be difficult to kind of like sneak back here. Plus, you're a kid, so
yes, I'll peer through like windows and stuff, try and find what I think would be a supply closet, even if I can't see into it. If I can see,
are there any outbuildings where they like keep the lawnmowers or?
Make investigate to kind of like scout this area out. And failure means you just won't find anything,
right.
And anybody can do this if they want.
So reminder on the game mechanics.
So it's a normal difficulty, so you're just looking for a single 6 to succeed.
And I have a mind of 3 plus. Wait. What are we using?
Investigate. So that's going to be mind plus investigate.
Okay, so I got a 3 on mind and 2 on investigate. So that means I roll 5.
I got 5 dice. Okay. You got a 6, so you got a success. Okay. So
I actually did not find anything. I was looking at all.
So Sam's got a success.
I got 3. Yeah.
3. Okay. Cool. So.
That banks us some, doesn't it? Or
yeah, it'll give you some bonuses. So we'll start with Sam. Sam, with your success, you get to ask me 2 questions about this place, and I have to answer them truthfully.
Okay. Like how busy is this place? Like generally?
Not very.
Not very.
It's kind of running on a skeleton crew. You'll have cement trucks come in. They'll kind of like park the cement truck. They'll put the stuff in there, pour it in. They'll go about their business. It's just enough to be able to get the work done for the contractors. Right now, there's no contractors, so they're just kind of sitting inside, probably taking phone calls, scheduling appointments for such service.
Probably 8 or 10 people max, I would say.
And right now, it's, you're going to be lucky if there are like 3 or 4 people working here today.
Okay. About what time do they generally leave for the day?
Oh, it's going to be like 4 to 5 o'clock. They'll be out of here.
Okay.
Okay. So Newton, you get bonus effects. Let's see what your bonus effects are. You get to ask me 2 additional questions, and twice, if you use any of the information you get to add a die roll when you use that information later.
Do they have a security guard?
No. So you think they should? So we'll say that yes. Well, it's not a mine. It's more like
a quarry.
Yeah, it's more a quarry. So we'll say that there's a guard that's probably
They
like
have
at
somebody
the
there to watch
entrance.
equipment and stuff.
Yeah. So we'll say there is a guard. How?
He doesn't necessarily have to be there all day. He might show up whenever they leave.
Yeah. So probably like during business hours. There's not a lot of equipment here. Like it's mainly like the big, silo type things that dump the stuff directly into. And like good luck operating
They
that.
probably got a couple loaders, inloaders, and maybe a rock.
For gravel and stuff, maybe. Yeah.
Weren't they a quarry? I'm guessing they're blowing.
Kind
up
of
rock
like
and
it's
then
it's
shooting
not
it
even
up.
that much. Like it probably used to be, but now there's like a school and roads and
Okay.
stuff nearby.
So it's more like a
cement.
like a depot. Like
Yeah,
a
that's
place
probably-
to store
probably more close to
store
depot.
the gravel and stuff.
Yeah,
That's the one
absolutely.
across from
Okay.
Camels Creek down past Charleston, because that's all they do is they just store a bunch of rocks.
Yeah,
there.
that's probably way more close. But the most business they do is like getting the concrete,
Okay,
mixing
okay.
trucks. Okay, you got 3 more pieces of info.
Ugh, I don't know. Not much to ask about a rock quarry.
Well, you're also find hidden objects, understand clues, break puzzles, survey the place or situation.
Do I know which building to look in for the items?
There is sort of a side shed that probably looks like it's not the office building. That would probably be your best place to look for extension cords and stuff.
Okay. And anything else? Anybody think?
I'll let you store them
Okay.
in case anything else comes up. But anytime you're able,
Up here.
twice, anytime you're able to use that info, you'll be able to add a +1
Okay.
die to your roll.
Anything that we
So
know about the security
you've got a
for
good idea. There's
They're usually
like
done.
one security guard that's kind of paying attention
Yeah. So
to like the entrance and exit, and you guys are walking the tracks, which is not a mode that he's expecting. So
he doesn't expect anyone to come steal his stuff because there's nothing worth stealing. So he's like, whatever.
pretty much. So I mean,
He
he's
might even be somebody we mess with on a regular basis.
I dare say,
those damn kids.
if this is an old quarry, I think probably the old rock walls were probably a target for vandalism, where the
yeah.
rock was like carved out and just left.
Oh yeah, just like
Solid
blank
wall.
slate, just ripe for the spray
A
painting.
literal slate.
Yeah,
That's probably-
just ripe
Painted on
for.
the rocks. Remember that?
We don't need no education.
Yeah,
Remember that coming up the quarter? Comfortably Numb used to be
Oh
painted
yeah.
really big on the rocks.
oh god.
And there was a chair up there too. You know how it was like benched?
Mm-hmm.
There was a chair like on one of the top benches.
And that's how I know we could get a chair into that caboose through the top, because we are kids and we know how to do
You've
what
got
we do.
more time
Yeah.
than anything else.
from like Jefferson Road to like the 7-Eleven, that part of 119 used to be heavily graffitied.
Oh
on-
yeah.
on the rock walls.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
There's places
completely.
down like Tazewell County and stuff like it's like that, and it's like, honestly, God, like you put a rock wall within 10 feet of a high school, and it's gonna have.
The graffiti
Like 5
is
minutes later.
It's actually spontaneous.
Proclaiming this week's love for all who can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you have a pretty good idea of where to go. You guys want to sneak over there? What do you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, we're coming up, I guess, around the backside
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
the train tracks.
So, I mean, you're aware of like the guards, so I'm going to say like it's going to be normal difficulty if you want to try to sneak into that building.
Sure.
Okay.
Wait. Do we want to hold off on the sneaking into the building until after we get the movie, so that we can hook it up, unhook it, and put it back with less chance of them noticing this big long orange cord traveling 300
Oh
feet
no,
from their
no,
building to us?
we can deal with that. We
Just
can
like
deal with
bury
the
it a
cord.
little bit or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
There's tons of rock dust.
rock
Yeah.
and dirt. This place is just nothing but rock and dirt.
Oh, this can also now be a permanent setup to our thing. Is what
Oh
I'm
no,
hearing.
it's going to be as permanent as we can make it.
Okay, so
What I'm waiting is to figure out whose VCR we're going to use.
I have one, so I can bring mine down.
yeah, we'll say that like you found like a 13-inch like TV in a and a VCR or something, like somehow with
Right, okay.
With Tim's resources, it won't be a problem. But
You just take one of the TVs.
you just got to juice it. So who wants to sneak over to that storage shed?
Got a pretty good sneak.
Now, failure means that you are going to catch the attention of that security guard.
Can someone else try to distract him?
Sure.
No. I've got a 5 sneak.
That's what I've got.
You got one too? You got one?
Actually, 5, yeah.
So,
Oh, me too. That's crazy.
I'll distract
We're
the
all kinda
security
sneaky.
guard.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is roll a charm.
Charm.
And what that'll do is charm, lie, befriend, and make people do what you want. So what that's going to do is negate the whole point of needing a sneak, and you're just going to keep his attention, hopefully.
Okay.
Well, yeah. We'll need some time to...
And
time to
failure
work.
means that he's going to be very suspicious of why you're...
Got it.
Got it? Got one
That's all I
success?
needed, one.
You only needed one.
Okay.
So you get his attention, you start having a conversation, like, and he's kind of bored, so he's not immediate, like, get away from here, kid. You just kind of go over there, and it's like, and you ask him questions about, what is this? And as a weirdo, like, you're asking questions, and he's just trying his best. So he's distracted enough so that the rest of you can go over to that shed unabated. Now there is a token lock on the door. It's like a key lock, like a master lock type deal. This would be a
Tinker?
yeah, tinker
sneak.
or
Calculate? Isn't that what you used to break?
calculate is technical items.
Oh,
Tinker
okay.
is machines and other mechanical items. So this would be a tinker, and we'll say it's normal. We'll say it's not a master. Actually, when I was practicing picking locks, master locks were the easiest to
Yeah,
pick.
well, I have 3 6s.
3 6s, cool.
I pull out... I have a couple specially filed hairpins for this.
Okay, so this is why this is important. So with your bonus successes, you can pick 2 of the following. You can give 1 success to another kid, not necessary. Don't need to roll to overcome the same trouble again. Do it quickly. Do it quietly. You get new or unexpected information, or you show off. You get to pick 2 of those because you had 3 successes.
Doing it myself is my pride, so I'm going to show off.
Okay.
So I'm going to be like... And then I'm going to lock it again and do it again.
Oh, that was a fluke. Let me-
No, and then once it's off, I'm going to close it and hand it... I'm going to hand it to...
Sam.
I'm going to hand it to Sam and the hairpin while we open the door. And did I get 2 things from the list? Or?
Yeah, so one of them is that you show off. The others that might be necessary are quickly, quietly, give a success to another kid, don't roll to overcome the same trouble again.
We'll do this. We'll do this quietly.
Okay, so by doing it quietly, Newton's able to keep that guard's attention the entire time.
Okay.
So without any type of suspicion at all because of Newton's success. You go into the storage shed, and there's a few smaller pieces of equipment there. There's like a few jackhammers and stuff like that. If you look long enough, you will find a number of extension cords in orange and yellow varieties. But you figure you would have more than enough to be able to get a link that would reach all the way to your caboose.
Sweet.
Yes.
But I mean, okay, there are jackhammers here, so we're gonna take a moment to like play with them. Not gonna turn them on, but we're gonna like
Yeah.
grab a hold of them, lean one up, and kind of like shake around like it's
Oh, yeah.
going. And
It's hefty too. Like it takes
these
a
things
little.
weigh like 3 times what we do. And
Absolutely. It's like
and-
2 of us hold it up while the other one gets to...
yeah, probably while we're pretending it's jumping up and down, do something vaguely obscene with it, and and then let's see to the extension cords. Also, are there maybe some mats or some cloth or brown cloths or something in here?
I don't know if they would have many drop cloths in here. This seems more like mechanical.
Right.
type
Okay.
stuff. Tarps, maybe.
You think they might have like a small shovel or spade, or do you think they only have big shovels?
I mean, I bet they've got shovels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably got the standard like 6-foot
Yeah.
shovel,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'd say
so-
there's probably both the flat and the
Okay.
tipped. So
So what we need to do is we need to hook up the wire someplace, preferably like by a bush or behind
Yeah.
some weeds or something, and then run it and basically cover it with dirt and rock and whatnot to the fence.
Yep.
okay. Let's see here. Well, I'm going to call this a sneak. And because it's such a long length of cord, I'm going to say it's going to be extremely difficult. But success means that you will have a permanent, like, power line leading to the caboose. And failure means that it might get discovered one day.
Okay.
I like those odds.
Now, so extremely difficult means you have to get at least 2 6s to be able to get a success. Now, in other games, there was such a thing as aid another. Basically, aiding another means that whoever decides they want to sneak, you can say, I'm going to help them. You give that person an extra die. So you don't make your own roll, you give that person an extra die. And by doing so, you share the success or failure of that person.
Okay, so me and you are obviously doing this together. Which one of us wants to
Right.
roll?
Right.
Well, I can help out too. So
Yeah. So if you want to join
So who
in,
has
that's
the
3.
best sneak?
I think we're all 5.
Yeah, we're all equally sneaky.
Okay. Well, you're conversing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind
So-
of predisposed.
You know what? We're gonna
You
say
found a tool too. You found a shovel.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
we
give
have
you
a
a
shovel.
+1 for using the shovel as well.
Oh, good. I'm
All
glad-
right.
glad we got
all
that
right.
shovel.
So we got the shovel, and we got so that's +1, and you're probably the sneakiest of all of us.
I'm pretty skinny.
I tend to
now.
show off.
Yeah.
So we'll help you
Okay.
and give you the shovel.
So you're at 5 plus 2 aids plus the 1 plus the shovel. So you're at 8. Okay. So we'll roll that, and if you don't get 2 successes, we'll talk about your options. Okay.
Alrighty. 2 6s? No, only got 1.
Okay. So here's what you can do. You can spend a point of luck to re-roll all of your fails. Okay. You keep that 6. Okay. It doesn't go away anywhere. Okay. You can mark a condition and re-roll all your fails. Or if there's any way that you can mark your pride,
Not
you can get a bonus success.
Not this time, but I will. I'm not as used to this kind of manual labor. I thought it was going to be easy to dig this small hole. So this is going to exhaust me,
Okay.
and then I take 1 away and reroll.
I'll have to read that, but keep your dice pool the way it is, and in future we'll...
Yeah, so this will exhaust me because I'm just not. I thought this tiny little hole was going to be easy, but gosh, man, rocks are.
They really just like this is the hard
It's like
stuff
they
now.
make rocks here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Did Matt get an extra die
Still no good.
for using his pride earlier that he could give him?
Let's see.
'Cause he used his pride when he opened the lock.
I don't know if you can.
Storm.
I think it's for you.
Okay.
It's for when you use that. Okay.
Okay.
So you've already marked a condition.
Yep.
Your other option now is going to be use a point of luck. Now, luck restores at the end of every session. So,
Oh, use it then.
Yeah, so then let's go with some luck.
okay, so you're going to use a point of luck? Okay.
Might as well.
All right, here's...
Yeah, here's it.
Can
Here it
we
is.
get
Let's
a-
watch me fail this again for funsies.
That was I'm throwing a fireball roll. Or a
Here we go. I got the second 6.
Okay, so it's a little bit tiring. You've worked up quite a sweat in this heat, but like you've got it nice and covered. Take off the coat.
I can't. I'm sorry.
it restrains my power.
That's correct.
You wouldn't be able to handle me at my full radiance. So
This isn't even my final
with
form.
some effort, you're able to
Unconscious is his final form.
get. Yeah, so you're able to get the whole extension cord covered up with rock and dust and stuff like that. And it's going to be safe. Even if it rains, you're going to be fine. This is kind of like all-weather type stuff. And you were actually able to find one of the extension cords that has like the 3 receptacles on the end. So like you're going to be able to plug in multiple things. So now Boxcar has power.
All right.
And
we will make this a hideout worthy of Spielberg.
Yeah, and between the 13-inch TV and the VCR, the tape deck, you guys are going to have a movie night.
All we need now is an Atari.
I mean, just Tim asks Dad, and
Dad's not home very often, so when I ask for stuff, I tend to get it.
but
me a little
Nothing
bit.
says love like an Atari, Dad.
But all my
With
friends
some
have an
games.
NES.
What year is it?
we're going to say 86. So, like, the NES
That'd be
exists.
brand new.
I mean,
I think
it was new 84.
like $500,
Oh, that's true.
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they would have been a little pricey, and also the number of games would have been kind of limited, but you would have had, like, your mainline stuff. So, like, NES would have been hot at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Some good ones.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff out if you did that. Anyway, you, the only thing left is, get ready for movie night. And one of the things you're going to need is a movie. And thankfully, I don't know what the cash situation is for everyone, but Movie Gallery is in the same plaza on Stafford Drive at the very far end of the plaza, kind of like it reminds me of like Ashton Place, like that type of deal. So at one far end of it is actually the Movie Gallery. At the other far end is a Kroger.
Oh, perfect.
So like. And in between, there's a number of things. There's a Chinese restaurant. There's a nail place. There's an army recruiting station.
So it's exactly like the strip mall in St. Albans that's been there since '72.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty.
Well, minus the army recruiting.
We got a
place.
radio shack?
Let me think.
Yes? Circuit City? No.
Well,
Radio Shack.
okay.
No, it would be Radio
so
Shack.
there is a Radio Shack at Mercer Mall,
would be a
which
city.
is in Bluefield.
Okay.
There's one open in Canal City right now.
I'm trying to think. Was there may be a Radio Shack in there at that time? We'll say there's a Radio Shack, sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm struggling because like Radio Shack bounced several places in Princeton around.
Yeah, but given the Tales from the Loop timeline, Radio Shack's probably doing well.
So I'm gonna say there's a.
Because everybody wants parts.
Absolutely.
And I can kind of like, and I don't know if this is like a manufactured memory, but I can almost remember where this Radio Shack would have been, and it would have been closer to like the Kroger side. So yeah, there's a Radio Shack. I mean, there's not 5 cell phone places to pack in there
Right.
now.
Yeah.
So I mean that. But there's a few businesses there. This plaza, and I mean it's a large plaza. I mean there's probably a dozen businesses flanked by the movie place and the Kroger in the parking lot closer to. So in the parking lot there is a Western Sizzlin'. It's a standalone, like buffet.
Right.
And Stafford Drive is not only where like Princeton High School is, but it's like one of the main strips for Princeton. So like all of your fast food restaurants and stuff are right there. So you name it, they've probably got it.
Burger Shack.
No, but there is a Burger King next to a Burger Boy.
Jeez.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so well, maybe not 2 teams, but we
Burger
definitely
Chef
have 2.
is on
We
the
have
Virginia
2.
side.
Wow.
We have 2
What is it?
strong targets here.
Burger Chef is on the Virginia side.
Yeah, I mean it's entirely possible.
We have food for snacks of some kind, or just like takeout from one of these places. Probably wouldn't be too awful. And then we need the movie, obviously, which is part
How
of
are
my
we going
deal.
to get takeout? That's money. I mean, we could go into Captain D's and ask for a bunch of their Krispies. They give
Yeah.
those away for free.
Right.
So there is a the Captain D's is actually on the other side of town. There's a Long John Silver's
Oh, they might do it.
near that plaza.
I mean,
There's
just
one.
for like the crunchy dough
If we
stuff.
wait for them to close, we might be able to get some of their heat lamp food before they throw it away.
Yeah,
Can
it's
we
true.
attempt to get some money?
That's late though.
That's true.
So I mean, I'm not sure what the money situation is for anybody here, but I imagine middle schoolers aren't going to have too terribly much to work with.
But like allowance.
Um,
I have a feeling our parents are rich.
Sure.
I think
So
I would be given some sort of allowance.
we'll say that you guys have some allowance, and because it's summer, you haven't really had much of an opportunity to blow it. So
I'm probably carrying
getting
like 10
food is
bucks
not
or
going to be an
something.
issue. That like the really difficult thing right now that you guys are going to have to deal with is getting the movie.
Right.
Yeah, I probably got like $10 on me. or
Like anywhere
whatever.
from $5 to $10 on
Yeah.
me.
We could see if Jimmy could do it. That's one option.
And I can also check with my. She's a movie buff, but she's not really into the kind of movies that I normally get. But she could probably hook us up. And in the
Humans
like-
aren't into the kind of movies that you normally get.
That's true. It is unfortunate, but because of our kindred spirits of likes of not the usual movie, we might be able to get her to get us an R-rated movie, even though the human norms would not allow such a thing.
Are you talking about Ellen? Or-
Yeah.
Okay. So.
But either one is fine.
Okay. So, you guys want to go to the movie place?
Yeah, we'll all like walk in at once, looking completely nonchalant.
Okay. So
As you do as a group of four. though.
So yeah, so you go to the strip mall, and from the direction you're heading, like let me see here. So you guys were way down here. Stafford is right here. That's Ingleside. So the Kroger and all this stuff is in this area right here. So you're kind of approaching. The first thing you hit is the first thing you're going to walk to is Kroger, and then by that point, the building roofs kind of overhang the sidewalk, so you have like shade to walk, so it's not just like asphalt the rest of the way.
That's nice.
The interesting thing though is like even though it's pretty large, like I said, it's probably about a dozen businesses in this strip. So you'll pass by like Kroger and you'll pass by Radio Shack and kind of look in and see what type of gadgets they've got today. You'll pass by the recruiting office, which by this point, there's one or two people in uniform, and it is Army, so I'm not sure what type of branch your uncle was in, Junior, but that might be something he does on the side. I don't know.
No.
What I got-
Since Nam, he doesn't go back.
Okay. You'll pass by a few places, and as you get closer, you realize that like there is, it looks like a protest happening
What?
at the very end of the strip, like where the video store would be. There's a number of adults with pickets and signs and stuff that are walking out there, and they're chanting, and there's just one lady you can hear from here because she's using a bullhorn and kind of like rabble-rousing these individuals as a result. So, yeah, that's what's going on right now. So you're kind of approaching that.
These humans can be so headache-inducing sometimes. What in the world is going on?
So there's, by your count, there's probably about 20 adults out there, just like picketing.
Can we hear what they're protesting? What's she going on about?
I'm pretty sure that Canada can hear what she's protesting about.
So as you get closer, because like just the acoustics of like this bullhorn off the building and stuff, like it's a little weird. Like you got to get to a point where you can actually hear like clearly what's being said.
Like there's language there.
Yeah, but it's just like overlapping at a couple milliseconds, just makes it really
Oh
difficult
my
to listen
God!
to.
Charlie Brown's mom is protesting.
Yeah, wah wah wah.
How is it the older that these people get, the more annoying they become?
It sounds like just the moral panic rhetoric that your parents have probably gone into before. She's denouncing the video store, which is a collection of sin, and how rented movies filled with violence and torture destroy children and threaten the caring municipality that the association wants to create. The participants shout, march in circles, carrying posters and banners with slogans like "Prohibit Sin" and "Think of the Children."
Oh no.
She even goes as far as pointing out, like across the street, there is a record store called Cheap Thrills, and she points it out and says that, you know, that this place is also, you know, all they sing about is like sex and drugs.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And then how the manager at the movie gallery exposes kids to role-playing games at the youth center, and how she influences them with horror and violence and satanic rituals.
I disagree with her greatly, but I take my best effort to not let her see me, because I do not have the time for her me to. I'm
gonna walk up.
She's like, this right here is what we're talking
I'm gonna do my best to not let her see me.
I'm gonna walk up to kind of the edge of the crowd, and I'm just gonna stand there, like looking as in all my white trash glory, and I'm just gonna stand there, and
you're like wife beater on, jeans.
Well, no, not wife beater
baseball hat.
My jeans, they're ripped up, but they're not ripped up because of fashion. And and just think, you know, because right now we're like covered in like rock dust. And you know, I probably got a ball cap tucked on my head, you know, Hank Williams Jr. And I'm just gonna stand there and like every time she gets to the point where she, like, you know, finishes a statement, I'd be like, yeah, that's awesome. and so you know, you can't really tell if I'm cheering for what she's against or for.
Yeah.
And just kind of just be there at the edge of the crowd, kind of not far from her.
Okay.
I'll kind of do the same thing, but like I'll make sure like my AC/DC or like Metallica shirt is just like in like full view of her.
Oh, you know, she.
Oh, is that the kind of fight we're starting here? Then I join you guys.
It's like the Westboro Baptist stuff. Like they're used to having, you know, like it's children, whatever.
I'm gonna shoot her with a rubber band. Sneak and shoot.
Well, okay. Like she's wearing clothes, so like it's
in the
probably.
face.
Oh, that might be a bit difficult. So, as you all approach, and actually this is going to wrangle the story here.
No.
As you all approach, it appears that like the people in this crowd, and again, it's adults and parents. Some parents that you actually recognize from school. They decide to take matters in their own hands. They actually storm the video store, which you will notice the neons that they have, like the open sign they normally have, is actually turned off. And the door, like the door's locked. So, like, they break in to the video store, which is closed.
Yeah, open the door! Open the door! Open the door! Open the door!
Down with the man.
And I mean, they storm in. You can hear glass breaking. You know, they're just kind of yelling and kind of like sort of trashing the place and looking around. You hear one parent saying like, "I found a needle in the bathroom," and that just like starts making people freak out about drugs and stuff.
Hey, kid.
Hey.
Go call the cops. Get ready to.
Okay. So this is the scene. Tell me what you would like to do.
Well, here's a thought.
Everyone here looks like they've just done drywall all day.
There's
Why? Oh yeah. Newton got out of.
Yeah, Newton's like, I was in the air conditioning. I don't know about you, scrubs.
Maybe put a point in charm next time, losers.
No, here's a thought. That store is in like massive panic.
Well, the store was. It looked like it was closed.
It's getting stormed right now as we speak.
It is, yeah. I mean, the door.
So, who will notice if like a couple of kids go in there and snag a couple of
R-rated movies? I was thinking the same thing. How do we get into this thing, get out without being trampled by this crowd, and snatch the movies we're looking for?
Oh no, we can do this.
Tell me more.
No. I mean, they're like grabbing stuff, throwing it on the ground, whatever.
It's just like,
So we join the crowd,
right.
and like I'll just go and
We
I got
like
my
trash cans
I got my
on
wooden
fire.
boken
Yeah.
on me.
This one goes on the ground. This one goes into the backpack.
Yep,
This one goes on the ground.
I got my wooden boken on me. I'll go in there and start hitting stuff, whatever.
I got my baseball bat.
And then every now and then I sweep a movie into the side.
All right.
This reminds me of this, and I don't know if anyone here's watched The Office. It reminds me of the scene where they've like staged this fire drill, and one of the employees, instead of like trying to leave, goes into the break room and busts the glass out of the vending machine so he can loot all of the stuff.
That's basically what we're doing right now.
Or the big guy, ball head.
Kevin. That was his name.
Down with whatever movies you guys are talking about. I don't know.
Right.
Down with
Get the Freddy movie.
So, okay.
I was leaning.
So it sounds like what you're trying to do is...
Oh yeah, Faces of Death.
That'd be
Oh my
cool.
God. Yeah.
Do you think they have Cannibal Holocaust here?
So-
was that distributed?
So here's the thing. You guys are familiar with this movie store. And I'll actually...
Is that the one filmed down in South America?
Yeah, where they killed 3 actual animals during filming and then
Yeah.
showed that.
And then they thought they killed actual people.
Yeah,
for a
because of how
while.
realistic it was.
Yeah.
So here's kind of a map of this video store. And you all are familiar with the video store because you've been to the video store before, either because your parents have taken you or you've come with friends or you've just stopped by because it's air conditioning.
I mean, it was a normal video store till like they stormed the place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Regular videos.
I'll give you a little bit of... So, movie gallery is a typical video rental with large windows and highlighted panels displaying inviting posters of movies with enticing red labels that read new or coming soon on the cover. Inside the shop, the carpet is gray and trampled. The only colorless item within the shop's interior, which is otherwise decorated with expressive posters and paper stands for horror, sci-fi, or action motifs such as Jaws and the Terminator. The different racks are nicely divided into shelves about as high as older children, but for the younger ones, the top shelf is a little out of reach. There's a checkout counter with an overview of the store and small TV, which Ellen is often distractedly glued to watching a movie. She's not here right now.
Yeah.
Behind the counter hangs an old translucent plastic cover with red splashes, a tribute to the shower curtain scene from Psycho. It covers a doorway which leads to the mythical world of the storeroom area beyond, where the adult movies are kept from kids' prying eyes.
Also, they do have adult
We do
movies
need to
here.
steal some of that.
Oh yeah, that was on my agenda.
Yep.
That's how we're getting out of here.
Yeah. So
That's
as you are kind of peeking in here, you can see a parent has taken one of their signs that didn't have anything on the backside and started scrawling on it with marker, saying "Closed by order of the Parent Teacher Association."
Oh my God.
Which group of us is children? Them or us?
Yes.
Good Lord.
I have a question. What's this word meter mean?
It's about a
That's
yard.
good. Yeah, about it. It's
I
the
just kidding.
Oh,
I
you're
was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
What's
Swedish game. We're one of 2 civilized countries in the
Was
world.
Jaws
that-
R-rated
metric
back in the
system.
day?
No,
Or was that PG-13?
it was
No, I don't think
it was the Indiana
PG-13
Jones
yet.
movie that
It was Gremlins and Indiana Jones Temple of Doom that caused PG-13 to be a thing.
Yeah.
Those 2 movies
Right.
specifically.
Well, remember, RoboCop is a PG movie where a guy dies in the first thing by being shot to death into pieces on screen,
Right.
followed by he
That's
then
pretty
shoots a dude's junk off. These are things that happen in the PG movie.
I'm going to say that was probably R, but I mean we live in the internet world, so
Right.
I mean, we can find out here.
Oh, that's right, because they never changed
See,
They never changed
yeah.
the rating because it's a classic movie.
That's why people don't know how to talk anymore, is we just look up movie trivia rather than arguing about it.
Yeah, that's true. We would have been here forever trying to figure out whether or not that was a PG or R movie.
We would be like 2 days from now yelling
Jaws
at each
was
other over it.
PG.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
really.
That's what I thought.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what kids
Because
think
it wasn't
is.
like graphic violence, and it wasn't a lot of bad language, and there wasn't any nudity.
I would say it was
Right.
nudity and language that got R ratings back in the day.
Yeah,
So it's all-
violence didn't matter.
No. It
Oh, and it still doesn't in the United States. Like, it's less violence and more like, oh, a booby! Oh, no!
Right,
Yes.
that would be the moral of the South Park movie.
Yes, that was the whole point. Yeah. All right, so
Because Americans are weird.
So we have X-rated movies in this place and R-rated movies. I think we should get a nice, healthy selection of both.
Well, I mean, we pick up some of those X-rated movies. That's going to be some serious street cred.
That's what I was saying. That's like
right. And I mean, if R-rated movies are this scary, how scary are the X-rated movies?
That's true.
Can we rob the cash or the cashier?
I mean, my brother said they were amazing.
Or the cash register.
Okay, so
all right, I'll collect
here's the deal. You've got a movie store here that's let's see. I'm guessing each of those are 5, 6, 7.
I heard that they actually killed somebody to film that movie.
So it's like a 20-foot by 30-foot workspace here. Not much bigger than your caboose. Mm-hmm. And there are 20 adults.
Yeah.
Probably a few less because some of them went back in the office. So let's say there are like 16 adults in here.
Okay.
And 1 to 4 children are about to come in here and try to, partake of this smash and grab.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to say that if you guys are intending to steal anything in this front room right now, this very instant, it's going to be almost impossible. It's going to require 3 successes, and failure means that you get caught.
I could hide some movies in my duster.
So, I mean, it's entirely possible that there could be a different opportunity for you guys to do this. But if you really want a movie right now, and also, why is the PTA involved in this?
I don't know.
Who gives them the authority to close down businesses?
Well, they did.
Yeah.
I am the law.
They clearly just used the power of just a mob. My mom's not on
I don't know.
PTA, so I'm not sure.
It's an acronym. My dad pays attention to acronyms. Like things like he's always talking about the ATF and stuff like that.
FDA.
Now that I think about it, my mom might be on the PTA, but I don't think she ever goes to the meetings. Weird.
Yeah, well, my dad used to go to the meetings, but they didn't do him any good.
Different meetings. So, yeah, you can see as you're peeking in, eventually you'll have like some of the parents like, get out of here, kids, just kind of like shoo you out. You can see them with like, they found these the cardboard like banker boxes that you can store stuff in. They're like putting certain cassettes into these boxes for whatever reason. And
oh God!
Can we offer to carry the boxes for them?
They don't want the kids to have anything to do with this.
They might be taking the movies that we need, so that's a problem.
Right. So what are they doing with them?
The ones that are out like in the actual store area, it seems like whatever they're collecting, and they're being rough with them. They're taking them back to the office in the back, and it sounds like there's some other discussions going on back and forth, like they're coordinating efforts almost. Like this is just sort of rapidly happening, and now they're just sort of like, okay, now, well, we're in it now, what do we do? But this would be a good opportunity for like investigate checks or something like
I would like to investigate, yes. I am slightly exhausted from my hole digging, so I only have a 6 investigate now.
Only?
Listen, there are a lot of mysteries to be solved in the human world.
I've only got 3.
Ooh, I can't solve nothing. Right.
I got a success.
You got a success? Okay.
I got 2.
2? Okay. So 1 success means you get to ask me 2 questions, and yours, you get to ask me 3 questions, and if you act on any of that info once, you can get a +1 to the die roll. So, ask me about this situation.
All right. So, has the PTA done anything like this before?
No. This is very unusual. It's hard to identify individual parents. Mm-hmm. Like, you may recognize 1 or 2 parents of kids that you've had class with, but if you've not really had much dealings with the PTA, then it's going to be really difficult for you to... but you have no reason to believe the PTA has done anything this egregious in Princeton before.
Okay. if you want to ask one of your questions.
Do the adults seem to be acting weirder than usual, and not weird like us?
They do seem to be acting weirder than usual. It's a bit strange for a conservative community like this to like
Do they
pick it and break in.
Do they look strange, like maybe under some kind of influence or something? If it's even possible for me to.
Yeah. Everyone here is unusually happy. Like, everyone's got smiles on their faces, unnatural smiles.
Okay. What did I get with
Especially
my
this, like, ringleader woman. So you'll get a third question, and if at any point you're able to use this information later, once you can get a bonus die on that. So you each both have one question.
I can't really think of any other questions.
I haven't dealt with the PTA enough to think like if we'd ever seen the leader, the chick with the bullhorn.
Well, I mean,
do we know?
If I might suggest, out of character, maybe we could ask, what it seems like their plans are, because I mean, they've got to do something next.
Like switch to concerned kid mode, like hey.
Because I mean, realistically, places like this have a small closed circuit camera usually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You suggested earlier, should we go get the authorities involved? How long do we think it'd take them to get here? An hour? 30 minutes?
I don't know.
So actually the police department is very close to where you guys are. So you guys are in this area.
Uh-huh.
The police department is going to be North Walker, like right here.
Oh, it's only about like 5 or 6 blocks.
It's,
I mean, they can see it.
Well, it's not that close, but it's probably like
if there weren't any buildings in their way, they could spit on this one video.
It's one very long block.
I'm sure the police would spit on us at any opportunity.
So, like, if they mounted a...
if we're lucky, that's all they do.
Yeah, so if they... There's so much police in this area. So, like, you've got the city police that I just pointed out. The county, Mercer County's police, is actually based out of the courthouse. And then near the interstate, there is a state police barracks. So, like, there's some police up in this city.
Okay, so...
All right, so maybe one of us go...
there should be a payphone in front of the Kroger's.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be payphones, like, periodically throughout that shopping area. So, I mean, you may have to walk a few stores down, but you can find a payphone.
You know what? I'll do that. I'm fast.
Okay.
Run down and...
So you're going to run down.
Yeah.
You'll put well, you probably don't even have to put quarters in for a 911 call.
You do not.
Nope.
So
I'll pick it up and...
Okay. So you put in a 911 call, and you get the dispatcher. Now, here's the thing. It's summer. It's at a shopping center where you can make 911 calls for free with little consequence. You're going to need to make me a normal charm check
to convince her that
this isn't a prank call, to take you seriously.
All right.
And then the consequence is she won't take you seriously because this isn't the first time that a teenager's called
and said the PTA is busting. She's like,
okay, I'm not going to tell her that. I'm going to tell her. I'm going to say, like, hey, there's I'm calling because I'm down here at the Kroger and somebody's breaking into the movie theater.
A bunch of people.
Yeah, no, I'll just say it looks like like he's on cocaine or something.
He's making it more realistic than the thing that's actually happening.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I'm kind of scared. They're yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and make me
with my 3 dice.
Maybe throw some tears in there.
Well, we'll see how this is going to be normal difficulty because the dispatcher's supposed to be doing their job.
Yeah.
Right. There's 6.
There's a 6. So you are able to muster the correct words to have her take this seriously. She says that she wants you to stay on the phone, so sort of as an assurance.
I can see him from here.
Yeah. Also as an assurance that like this isn't a prank, and if the police or whatever. So like you stay on the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
She sends that. She says that they'll dispatch someone. They should be there within a few minutes. And sure enough, it's not very soon after that you'll have a Princeton City Police. You'll have.
I'll wave, but they'll probably see what's going on.
Well, the thing is, they're going to pass that before they see you, just because of the nature of the direction they're coming. So yeah, they're going to see that, and then once they're going to talk to dispatch and have their conversation, and the operator will say, "Okay, the police officer's there. We'll take it from there. Thank you for reporting."
Sweet. Are they going to bust them?
I don't know, dear, but thank you for letting us know what happened. We'll
I'm going to go find out and click.
Okay. Ambient music provided by Tabletop Audio. Original 10-minute ambiances and music for games and stories. Find out more at tabletopaudio.com.